courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
It's time for Veterans Issues, the show that brings you information about veterans, military, and their family. Now here's your host, Ken Rollins.
Welcome to Veterans Issues. Appreciate you tuning in today. At the end of the year here, we're winding down. Finally got him back up here. He's been on the show several times. He's the commissioner of the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. And we got two guests today. You're gonna need that pen to get these numbers. This is Admiral Clyde Marsh. He's the commissioner of ADVA. We'll come back. We're going to talk with him about some things going on down there for the veterans. Stay where you are. Be right back. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Ken Rollins here. And today's guest is Admiral Marsh, who's the commissioner of the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. He's been on the show several times and asked him to get up here before the year is over. And boy, he just got in under the wire to tell you what's happening in 2014. It's about gone. But welcome back to the show, Admiral.
Ken, it's great to be back.
Great to be anywhere, isn't it?
It certainly is. And anytime we can talk about veterans, it's just a good day.
Well, I like to talk to you about it because you say it right. There's so many people come on there, including our congressman, is that veterans. They even got a commercial about New Way or something about veterans. But I love to hear the word veterans because that's who we are. And you got 450,000 of them.
I do. And I first want to tell you about a new program. It's called the Alabama Veterans Executive Network, ALAVETNet for short. But this was signed by executive order from Governor Bentley. And what it is that it is a conglomeration of 18 state agencies. And our focus is to identify and utilize benefits and services that are out there. Things that are not covered by an agency such as ours or the federal VA. And there's a sea of goodwill across the country where people have goods, they have money, they have services that they want to give it to veterans, to help active duty military and their families, but they don't know exactly how to do that, and that's what ALAVETNet was designed to do. We've met extensively, half dozen times. We delivered a report to the governor on the initial steps for ALAVETNet to take. And we had six committees that developed actionable items. We had the education committee, and what we're going to do there is allow veterans to utilize their post 9/11 GI Bill at the in-state rate for tuition, so they don't have to pay out-of-state fees.
Wow.
Those folks that are here, stationed here, or that live here can utilize that benefit.
They didn't have to enter the service from here.
No, that's for the post 9/11. That's the federal benefit.
Just want to make sure when you talk about the Alabama GI Bill that get off on
I'll
that.
talk about that one in a minute. And then we have a we call employment committee, and our goal is to reduce unemployment below 5% in 2016. That was one of the governor's key staples. What we want to do is get businesses and corporations to hire veterans, essentially. And we've asked for them to target about 12% of their new hires to be veterans. And then consequently, the governor would develop a recognition program where he would publicly recognize those companies and businessmen that hire veterans in their companies. And that's a great thing. For health care, there's so many vets that have TBI, PTSD, and other physical injuries that need help. And that committee is targeting not only the VA facilities, but outside medical facilities that can also absorb some of our military and veterans that come back here after serving their country. We have a legal assistance committee, and they've developed a legal pro bono program, whereas the state bar across the state will identify lawyers that will dedicate their time to helping veterans. At major events, we can set up events. They've participated in our supermarket benefits. In any other event that a veteran needs legal help, all they have to do is contact our department, the state bar, and identify where they are and what type of assistance they need. And then a lawyer will be identified for them to marry up and get assistance. That's a great benefit.
When you say we, the committees, are these just selected people by the governor? Are they veterans organizations or a combination?
They comprise of those 18 state agencies that I'd mentioned. This AlabetNet is chaired by myself and Commissioner Jim Riddick from Mental Health, but the other state commissioners and directors are members on this committee, and they participate in the different committees here that comprises the AlabetNet. And we have corporate, we have outside folks that come participate in this, in our discussions that bring solutions and benefits and services to the table.
Well, I know legislation was passed to entice businesses to hire veterans. They get a tax rebate or something to that effect. So do they. That falls into this program too, wouldn't it?
It does.
Other than recognition of the company.
Oh, absolutely. That's that's all part of it to make a package. And
we don't run out of time now because you got too many things. I'm just going to give it to you. So
okay.
GI Bill too.
And the other thing I just want to talk about is a few initiatives that we're doing. We're expanding our Bill Nichols State Veterans Home. We expanded the day rooms on all 4 floors. That means we're creating additional space. We're actually physically extending the building, and we're going to upgrade the entire front of the building, the facility. We're upgrading all of the internal facilities, public restrooms, areas. All of the hallways and decks will be brand new when we get through with this project. We're also expanding the columbariums at our State Veterans Memorial Cemetery, Spanish Fort. We have 128 columbariums for cremains. We're going to build another 768 so that we'll have enough cremains and columbarium niches to last us for the next 8 to 9 years. We were using those columbarium or services and urns much more than we anticipated based on our study. It seems like people want to use that as a method of choice in South Alabama. So to make sure we didn't run out, we went ahead and expanded our columbarium sections in that cemetery. And obviously, the federal government paid to do this with a $4 million grant. That is in the process of being let. So that we're going to hire a contract here to start that expansion the first of the year.
Right. We're down a couple minutes, so you've got
and the other thing I want to talk about is our own scholarship bill, education scholarship bill for dependents. We had a major change during the last legislative session where peacetime veterans can now take advantage of it. It used to be wartime only, but peacetime veterans now, their families, spouses and children, when those veterans are 20% or more disabled, they're Alabama veterans and that served our country, their kids can go to school, any school in the state, 4-year colleges, trade schools or others, free of charge. Now, and this change also limits it to undergraduate education. Before, you could do masters and doctorates, but with the change, it's only undergraduate education. Books and fees are also covered.
books and
That's a great
tuition, the
change.
whole smear.
It is.
Yeah.
So everybody may not know about that, but obviously if you're a peacetime veteran, you can now apply, and if you qualify, you can go, your kids can attend school free of charge.
I go to these conventions, and these people up in Tennessee and Florida, they want to know how we went about getting all that done, and I sent them some paperwork from that they stole from you. Hey, we are out of time. Admiral, I appreciate you coming down. That's
Thank you.
all the way
Thank
from
you,
Montgomery
Ken.
just to do these few minutes, but the people out there need to know about that AlabetNet, and we're going to talk more about. I'll have more of it on the show later. And if you need to know about what Admiral just talked about, you got my number on the screen. Just give me a call, and I'll get you that information. We got to go to a break. Come back. I've got another guest that you'll be interested in hearing. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. Appreciate Admiral Marsh coming in and doing the first part of the show. And the next guest today is Professor Edward Taub from the University of Alabama, Birmingham. And he's got a clinic that is addressing an issue that we talk about here on the show a lot. It's TBI, traumatic brain injury. And we're going to let him tell about that. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Well, Happy New Year, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, it is about New Year's, isn't it?
It sure is.
By the time this show airs, it will be. There'll be firecrackers going off and everything. But appreciate you coming down to Birmingham and doing this show, because this is something that people in our audience are very aware of. The month of March is Traumatic Brain Injury Month, and we always have something about that. But this, if I understand what you got a grant from the federal government for your program over there. Could you tell me about that?
Right, from the Department of Defense, yeah. And we hope that our project will make the new year a little brighter for veterans who have traumatic brain injury with movement problems as a result of the TBI.
Physical movement.
Physical movement of the arms.
Okay.
And we're carrying the project out for DOD, who's funding the whole thing, at the University of Alabama at Birmingham at my clinic, and also at the Lakeshore Foundation. We've got 2 different treatments for the signature wound of the Iraq conflict.
So these, the grant was for the veterans to be treated in your clinic. Is that for a specific veteran? Is Iraq and Afghanistan, or could it be others?
It can be any veteran.
Okay.
From the Vietnam War, from later periods, even from peacetime, as long as the TBI was sustained while the person was in the military.
You know, I don't remember when, but TBI is something relatively new to me. I mean, it didn't come in our war, so to speak.
Right.
So if we did, we didn't know about it.
Right.
Or about the shaken baby syndrome, if you will.
Right. But TBI is the signature wound of the Iraq conflict from improvised explosive devices, and where there's blast and the person's head hits a rigid object inside a vehicle, or just the blast itself produces damage to the brain.
Okay, now you've got a clinic at UAB. The people that's in the viewing area, they want to come to the clinic. Is there some way? What if the spouse wants to come with the
Right,
veteran?
right. We strongly encourage that. We strongly encourage that each of the veterans comes with a companion. And an important feature of the program is that all expenses are paid. The therapy is at no cost, but also the travel expenses are paid. The veterans and the companion come to Birmingham for 3 weeks, and their living expenses, their travel expenses, and their meals are all completely paid for.
Wow, that's great. Because the ones that I've been involved with, especially TBI, memory problems, and that affects the spouse. And I must say here, we're not just talking about guys with TBI. There's females.
Absolutely, right, and
that bring their spouse or their
right,
companion.
and we will treat males or females, veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts, the Vietnam War, and other veterans as well. I should say that there are 2 different treatments in the program, and a person they come to Birmingham, they get evaluated, and if they meet our criteria, which I'll tell you about shortly, then they're randomly assigned, that is by chance, to one of the 2 treatments, like as a result of a coin flip. And the 2 treatments are something called CI therapy, which is a treatment that we developed at UAB over 25 years ago. And it has, just to give people in the audience who may be interested an idea of what they will encounter, it has 4 components. First is intensive training. So the person now has a TBI and a movement disorder, that is a problem with movement. They're taught to reach accurately for an object, to pick it up, to brush their teeth with the more affected arm, to manipulate eating utensils, to button a shirt, and to do a variety of practical things. The second component is we do the training by a process called shaping, so that the person has a personal best, the best that they've previously been able to accomplish on that task. And we ask the veteran to improve their performance by just a little bit, just a very small increments from their personal best. And we keep doing that, and that adds up, and it adds up rapidly, so that almost invariably at the end of treatment, we have a very substantial change in the ability to use the arm that is more affected by the TBI. We get actually a 5 times difference. That's the average change, improvement. The third factor is that the participant has to wear a padded mitt on their less affected arm to discourage their using that arm, and that facilitates using the more affected arm. It forces them, in fact, to use the more affected arm. And the fourth component is that we make a great deal of effort to get transfer of that improved movement that we develop in the clinic over into the life situation.
We're down to a minute. I want to make sure that we've got the people got the email address, they've got the website. It's being shown on the screen periodically, and your phone number 205-934-9768, and then my number if it is. Now you got 1 minute. The most important part that we left out. I know we're going to leave out 2 hours worth of show, but
okay.
What's the
most important part is the other therapy, which is going to be carried out at the Lakeshore Foundation, which is well known for training impaired athletes, particularly veterans, for the Paralympics. And at the Lakeshore Foundation, the idea is to increase the physical and mental fitness of the veteran. We have physical and recreational exercises in the water, aquatherapy, and on the ground. We have breathing exercises, movement to music.
I like that. Well, they cutting us off here.
Okay.
Professor, I appreciate you coming down doing this. Maybe we come back
Sure.
on again another time and just cover the whole show. I see right now that we've left about 2 shows on the table, but I want to, you've got the Lakeshore, you got the UAB, and you got the federal government helping you there, folks. There's something out there for the veterans, not just left out there to wonder. So if you saw the show today and you know somebody that could use that or need it, get those numbers or give me a call and I'll put you in touch with them. We got to go to a break. Come back. I got news that you can use. Stay right there. Get that pen. Welcome back to Veterans Issues. We had a great show today. Good information for you. If you got any questions about what you saw and you didn't get all the numbers and the email addresses, you got my number. It's on here on the screen, just like Anna White, how I do that. And just give me a call and we will. I'll put you back in touch with the folks that was on here. This is, I know that there's been a lot of cases of people in the hospital in my area, and well, fellow in Ventura, California just let me know they had it. So it's all over the country, I guess. This crud is going around, the flu, whatever, but they also recommend if you don't have the symptoms of it to go ahead and you still get the flu shot. And I'm a recipient of the flu shot, and it sure has helped me a lot. In the last 3 or 4 years. I used to not do that, but I'm advised you to do that. And also, the one thing that the people at the VA clinic tell me to remind you is wash those hands. Wash and sing that Old MacDonald or Happy Birthday or whatever course of that, to get through the washing the hands, wash the hands, and then after you get through, wash your hands again. And those buggies and the shopping centers, when you go in, you're going to think about this, I have to tell you. When you go in, you grab that buggy, and it feels warm, like somebody's been holding it and everything. Just reckon where their hands have been on their nose, whatever. Think about that when you go there. So especially if you've been shopping, pushing a buggy, carrying that. Now this, my phone number, the 239-9234 is the number I'd appreciate if you'd use instead of the other number I've been using all these years. I want to thank WEAC TV24 for nearly 6 years of this. This is one of the very few stations in Alabama that gives the time to talk about the issues that's just specific to veterans. I want to remind you that this time of the year, as in every time of the year, is all times of the year, paying it forward. Keep paying it forward, folks. That is drive-ins and places like that. Just pick up the bill for the person behind you. Watch what happens. I did it this morning, and I'll keep on doing it, and I want you to keep it. And after a while, nobody will have to pay for anything. So, but it'll make you feel good and all that. And I want to tell you that the VA hospital over in Birmingham is doing some things that's going to benefit all of the people in this viewing area. They're building a new women's clinic. They're also building, you'll love this, they're building a new parking area specific for the veterans. So, and the women's clinic, the eye clinic, we always go to the Callahan clinic. Now they're going to have their own eye clinic, the women's clinic, and a parking. And you can't get in better than that other than just come to our house to pick us up. So that's a great deal. In the meantime, you park over at 2128 4th Avenue North and ride the shuttle over to the hospital. Let's see who else I got running down here in time. Oh yeah, the Community Foundation, P.O. Box 1826. That's why I say get the pen. P.O. Box 1826. It's getting the end of the year. You want a tax deduction to help build the memorials for the law enforcement, firefighters, Afghanistan and Iraq veterans. Send your money to that Community Foundation, P.O. Box 1826, Anniston 36202. Put the word Centennial Memorials on that. Somebody sent a nice check in last week, and I do appreciate that. So, and I got to give out some shout outs, but I'm going to forget them this week. I'm just going to give out a shout out to, well, first of all, I want to tell you that we got Oxford, Bessemer, Childersburg, Decatur, Madison, Gadsden, Gunnersville, and Huntsville, Jasper, and Muscle Shoals. We got clinics, so you are not that far. I'm going to talk to you later about being 40 miles away. We got to go. This salute goes out to all those that have helped our Alabama veterans, and we'll see you next week. Veterans Issues, salute.